Hi and welcome to How to Use CAD. For today's tutorial we're going to take a look at how to create elevation plans quite quickly. We can show you how to create accurate elevation plans from photos using the brickwork to determine the measurements. By the end of the lesson you should have a far better understanding of how to create fast elevation plans from photos. Again, I haven't done too much preparation for this project. This is a particular job that came in recently, and it was a request by a client to create elevation plans for a property that they were changing windows and they need to do a planning application. As you can see, it's a pretty unusual property because it looks more like industrial rather than anything residential, and it's also at the back of shops, so it was really hard to get access to or to visualize it when the client sent it over. So we had to nip down and take photographs and climb onto roofs to get access. This is actually the back here, and it's only on the second and third floor because the other floors, this is a roof terrace here, so it's actually a building, so we don't actually see this bit. But it's from here to there, and this is represented, it's actually represented here, yeah. And we're going to change these four windows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the front elevation, which we did have access to, and we're able to take a few photos. That's what it looks like. Ground floor is built out and it's basically all solid, entrance doors. And I guess it's offices, some sort of industrial space, light commercial. And again, this is the existing, this is the existing again. So this is the front, that's the back. We don't need to do the side elevations on this because it's purely the windows where alterations are, the elevations where alterations are going to take place, and that's on the front elevation and on the rear. So we're changing 3 windows to the front, 4 to the rear. But as you can see, it's an absolute pain. You're just replacing windows and you have to do a planning application, and of course we've had to go on site on this one, and when we go on site then we make a determination as to how we're going to measure it out. And on this one it's easy enough because of the bricks, so we scale the bricks. So in order to work out what the dimensions are, we have high resolution photographs which we can bring up, and then we do a count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we can count up the bricks. And by counting up the bricks and the width of the bricks, again we can count up. So it's very, very easy to measure this building because of the bricks. These are, if you take one brick, 225 wide, including that little bit of mortar, and again 75 is one brick and one piece of mortar. Brick is actually 65, and we allow 10 mil for the mortar. So all we need to do is to actually count up the bricks to get our heights and widths. And the other thing what I wanted to show you on this was, for example, you take, let's just take that and pull it down. When we go to do elevations, effectively what we do is we get the positioning of the windows. So like so, I'm just going to do this in a very simple way. And then what we do after that is, in fact I can remove the windows. And once we can see it's 4 windows and we have the positioning, and then effectively what we do is effectively what we do is just make up the window, and the window is generally 50 mil, 50 mil, 50 mil, and then partition it as per the photographs. And you can see on this one, this is at the back, it's this window here, So it's in, you can see you got a cross member, a vertical and a horizontal, and then the sections divided as well. So if we look down, go back down here again. So what we do then is if I just do that again, add a bit of glazing, and after that what we do is we don't need to make it up again. We just, as I say, once we know the positioning, then it's really a simple matter of repeating the process. So this makes life very easy when you have identical windows on a building. And as I say, once you get the location, the height, and the vertical and the horizontal location, then it's easy to repeat. Now these windows were slightly taller, so again all we did was we have the frame, we have the size of the building from the front elevation. Once we make a copy and flip it over, get rid of everything on the ground floor, position the windows above, and then we create these two windows. Once we create these two, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, and this took about 30 minutes to create rear elevation for this particular project. Getting back, we generally try to pretty them up a little bit, as in sometimes, you know, keeping them simple. I could have put a brick here, but again that will take a fair bit of time, which the cost factor of the drawing, the client is paying for it, it's not quite necessary. So as I say, if it was a planning job, we may well use a brick or a part brick to emphasize brickwork, but just to replace the windows, no. So because it's purely to replace windows, then what we do to emphasize, so these two are existing drawings, existing front, existing rear, and these two are proposed. So in order to show the proposed, what we have to do is I changed the color on those three and put a little antidote or annotation in to show we're replacing those three windows, and likewise on the rear elevation 4. Also note that whilst I'm using blue to emphasize glass, I'm using grey to emphasize paneling, which in fact is what it was here. Yeah. Okay, there's not much more I can tell you here, other than you get your photos now. A lot of times we can actually take the photos from Google Street Map, or we ask the client to go and take photos of the elevations, and then we'll give them a quote over the phone or by email or text. And we can do that if it's brickwork. If it's brickwork, we can easily measure. Average brick 225, 65, and then if we want to add mortar, allow for that as well. So it's very easy to measure up a building using the brickwork. In this case, very simple project. So again, it needed a site visit, this one, not because of the sizing, but because of the location. Google Street Map couldn't get in there. We had to climb up on other roofs to get these photos in the back. And the street was so narrow, it was also impossible to stand back and get all the elevations, so we had to take it in sections and join it up. But again, a very simple project, but I'm basically what this lesson is about is to tell you about how we actually deal with elevations and how we try to minimize the effort, the work involved, and to turn out smart drawings that are scaled and work with planning. So hopefully by watching this tutorial, you'll now have a much better idea when you get asked to do elevation plans, and you'll be able to turn them out pretty successful, I gather. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See you on the next video.